If you know anyone that sells luxury real estate right here in Africa, share this video with them because this is going to be one of the most helpful videos when it comes to selling luxury real estate right here in Africa. Now, over the weekend, one of the representatives from VAR Real Estate, one of the largest real estate companies here in Africa, called me out and, of course, was trying to sell to me what their project was about. I think they have a project called Kavanda. I'm not sure what it is, but it's one of the luxury real estate projects right here in Africa. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share how that phone call went and what they could have done to make sure that it increased the likelihood of converting people like myself. For those that don't know, my name is Kenneth Ntende, and over the last 10 years, all I have been doing is helping businesses like yours grow their sales. And because I've taught over 100 companies these processes of selling, and I own a company called Trendy.com, which is an AI software that literally gets leads for you and sells for you. All I do is talk sales from morning to evening, giving me the expertise that I need to better help guide you on how this would work well for you. Now, to get us started, I'll do two things. Number one, I will talk about how that phone call went. Then number two, I will talk about the solution, some of the things that I think would have been done to make sure that if you're making more calls like that, you're converting a lot more from those phone calls. As a starting point, let's start with point number one. How did the phone call go? First things first, the gentleman actually was quite respectful. He calls me up on a Friday afternoon and says, "Am I speaking to Mr. Kenneth Ntende?" That I would comment. It's quite good. I'm like, yes. Do you have a few minutes for us to go about this? I'm like, do you know what? I have a few minutes to spare. I wasn't doing anything. It was Friday afternoon. I was tired. Now, after that, he just dives into straight. Do you know what? My name is so and so. I'm calling in from a company called Val. I don't know if you're interested in buying our properties. And jumped direct, very good move, but that makes sense when you're selling a product which doesn't have high commitment. I mean, your premises are hundreds of thousands of dollars, meaning you can't just jump straight into this phone call. I need to trust you first. I need to understand why I even need to be making that commitment. Sometimes we're getting loans for those kinds of properties, so why should I go through that whole process? And I think he didn't bother with any of those things. He just went straight into, do you want to buy? I told him, at the moment, no, I'm not in position to. I already made my investments for the year, so I'm not in position to. Then he went to question number two, which was, do you know any other people that want to buy these properties? I kept quiet for a second, and I told him, no, sir. I don't know anyone that wants to buy those properties in the meantime. And he said, okay, thank you for your time, and hung up the phone call. And what I noticed is many of the phone calls I receive from people selling such properties are usually in the same manner. It's like you're forgetting that we are selling high-end properties that are hundreds of thousands of dollars. Such a sales pitch would work for if you are selling an obvious product. Do you need makeup? Do you need shoes? The commitment in my head is not that big, so you might as well go straight to the point. But for our case, for the people that are selling luxury real estate, the journey is a little bit different. And I'm going to talk about what they could have done to make sure that is greatly improved. Now, as a starting point, we need to first of all understand what I would call the introduction. What are the most important things you need to understand about selling luxury real estate? In the normal industry, at any given point in time, only about 3% of people are ready to buy your product. Meaning 97% of the people are not ready. But that is for other industries. For real estate, it's actually much worse, about 0.5% to 1% other people who are ready to buy. Meaning 99% of people are not. Now, of this 99%, structuring your pitch going direct to the sale means you're only talking to like a 1% that is ready to buy from you today, which is a bit unfair. You're going to go through thousands of phone calls, and if you had focused on how do I nurture my 99%, you would get a lot more value than structuring your pitch for, I want business today. Now, what I would personally recommend, I would just recommend two things. Number one, let's structure our pitch to accommodate for the 99%. And how do we move this 99% into our prospective customers? What I would have done personally, I would have changed two things. Number one, I would first of all go back into the training of the sales pitch, because someone that just goes direct into, do you want to buy this from me, looks like someone who hasn't really been taught how to pitch. The standard pitch is talk to a person. First of all, get to understand if they have a problem. Oh, is real estate a product you consider? Is it part of your portfolio? Talk to the person first. Talk them so that they tell you if they even need such, or if they want such properties. Get to understand what their thought is on the entire real estate space. Have you ever considered buying residential? Why did you go residential? Have you ever gone, are you buying land? So that the person gets to talk to you first. The basic metric of success in sales is if that person talks to you more, you're winning. Now, only after they have talked about what they envision, what they are doing, how they're maneuvering, what for them their point of thought is, that's now where you now begin to propose your solution of, you know what, given that you're investing in real estate, if they are investing in real estate, I believe that this would make a very good fit for you. The reason it should be a good fit is because, number one, here is how much you get in terms of return. This is the financing process we go through. So lead them onto that journey. Even right on that phone call, restructure it on how to get value from the 99%, as opposed to trying to batter people and get the sale from them on the first meeting, in the first minute you've talked to them. So if you'd like more details on how to structure your pitch, I'm going to leave a link right here in the description. Just go fill in that form. I'm going to send you a full video on how to structure your sales pitch, because it will go a long way in helping your team get more value out of those initial phone calls. Now, the second thing we would work on is what they call the follow-up. Keep in mind that you're in the world of real estate, meaning people, in the first place, don't even have the money to buy. They have to take loans to buy those properties. So those are very big commitments that take time. So what that means is you barely get the sale from that initial phone conversation. You always get the sale from following up, checking on them, giving this person more email information, more SMS, more WhatsApp information. That's what closes 90% of that. And the nurturing is what closes business for you. Now, what would happen for your given case scenario is you'd need to get some kind of marketing automation platform and say, yes, we have gotten off the phone call, but even after this phone call, I'm going to continue engaging this lead. I'm going to send them information like, as an example, why you should consider buying a high-end real estate property right here in Uganda or Kenya, whatever country it is. That simple information is now what begins to convert their mind, because in the first place, I may not even have been thinking about getting luxury real estate. So it's your job as the salesperson to help me move my mind from a point where I didn't know anything about why I even need luxury real estate to begin to consider it. And the best way to do that is just keep sending me information. Send me the first email. Enter the Tremby platform. In fact, the marketing automation software is free. Get in, send an email, send a WhatsApp to the person. Tell him, oh, check out this other success story. This person bought it, and right now their Airbnb is making $3,000 a month. Do you want to be like this person? So it's that messaging and that simple following up and checking on this person again through WhatsApp, through email, through phone call that makes you the sales, not the initial phone call of do this, buy from me today. No. So 90% of your focus should be more or less in nurturing. How do I keep checking on this person again? How do I keep showing them the financing options? How do I show them the value they're going to get from the property? That's what makes you your money. So after that phone call, the person, in fact, didn't contact me again. That is, I think, the third phone call I've received from via real estate. And every time they're just calling and asking for business. If I don't budge or if I don't tell them anything, they stop. So keep checking on these people. Use a marketing automation platform. You're going to see how much more of an impact that is going to have for your business. Because, like I said, the money comes from the nurturing. It doesn't come from that initial phone call. I would personally recommend, if you can, invest less in the ads, invest less in that initial phone call. Yes, structure it, but most of your effort, 90%, should be in the follow-up process, in the WhatsApps, the SMSs, the emails, because that's what eventually convinces people to get to understand why they need your property and to make up their mind on buying your property. So factoring in that 99% of people are not ready, so spend some portion of time on just cleaning up those aspects of your sales pitch, and you'll see how much more of an impact it will have on your business. But for now, that is all I would have done. Just focus more on, first of all, understanding the metrics. 99% of the people are not ready to buy. So understand that and structure your pitch to accommodate for that. Then number two, understand the business is in the nurturing, the following up, sending more helpful information, convincing the person slowly by slowly. Send them 8 emails over 6 months. Very helpful information. It will convert. This 99% will begin turning into your actual customers. And it really works. All the bigger companies are doing the same process from all other parts of the world. So why not copy and replicate what they're doing? So in a nutshell, personally, that's what I would have done better. Just 2 things. Number one, actually 3 things. Number one, understand who your market is, but the fact that 99% of them are not ready to buy. So then number 2, structure your pitch around the 99% and get to understand how to maneuver your pitch, because that's not a pitch. You telling me come and buy from me is not a pitch. You haven't gotten me to understand why should I buy from you? Why shouldn't I invest that money somewhere else? So understand what the logistics around the pitch should be. And number 3, work around the nurturing, because it's extremely important. You can automate the whole process. Get a platform like the Trendy marketing automation software. It's even free. And it will do a lot of the heavy lifting for you if you have the leads. But in a nutshell, that is all I would have done to improve that entire sales pitch. And if you'd like some more content on sales and marketing, in fact, in the description here, I'm going to leave what are these 7 different ways you can get sales for your business. If you'd like to access it, just go into the description there, fill in the form, and I'm going to send you all the 7 ways so that you get to understand what they are and how they work. By the end of it, you will be closing more business. That's all from me, folks, today. Bye-bye for now.